My name is KAOLI OLATUNJI OLUSANYA. Uh, from upbringing, uh, I have to give the credit to my mom, to my parents. My dad was a disciplinarian. I was the last born of the family, so he was very old and fragile when I was very young. So my relationship with him was very brief. But my mom stayed longer, and being the last child in the family, I had very close, intimate relationship with my mom. My mom was an illiterate, but being that as it may, he encouraged me to learn my books, to study. She always asked me, "How was your school? What are you doing? What are you reading?" I go to extra lesson, go for extra lesson. She's always encouraging me. And more than that, she was always there for me, showering me with genuine, total love all the time, praying for me, calling me by my name, Ainde, please, you are my daughter, you are my son, please do well, it will be well with you, you will succeed, you will succeed. So when you see a mom that is so much showing genuine love, contact with you and with you all the time, I was moved and committed to ensure that I fulfill the desire of the mom on me. That is one side. On the other side, my mom, yeah, she labored all her life. She labored all her life to pay my school fees and the school fees of my brother. The two of us at the same time, almost about close age. You are in school, and I went to a public primary school, Talimun Islam Ahmadiyya Primary School, Elegbata, Lagos. And from there, I went to Ilesha, Ebenezer Grammar School, Ilesha, private school. My mom paid throughout. When I finished, I went to Federal School of Science, Unicon, Lagos, then, reading science. It was public, it was federal government, so not much of paying school fees. I spent 1 year there. I went to University of Ife. My mom paid throughout with her mega resources, toiling day and night, sweating for it. And at the same time, my brother, immediate senior brother, was a student of Yaba College of Technology, so paying both together. And she was just a food vendor. So when I saw the commitment, the passion of the mother and her labor, all just to make us succeed in life, I was totally committed to ensure I would not disappoint my mom. I was committed I would not disappoint my mom. And that is what was the motivating factor behind me to say, look, we have to break this vicious cycle of poverty in the family. Because at that time when I was in school, we were living just one-room apartment. Almost about 7 people in one single-room apartment at Isaleko. So by the time I moved to Federal School of Science and I met children of wealthy families, so to say, I could see the difference in the social status of myself and my colleagues. By the time I moved to Ife, and I saw Ife, the infrastructure in Ife, the people, children from wealthy family in Ife, and see the conveniences in Ife, the conveniences in a school, which I never had at home. I knew there is a lot of gap I have to cover. So all I've done in my life is to ensure my mom, dead or alive, I must never disappoint her. No, it was it's just by sheer coincidence. I just finished my first term as a commissioner in the Lagos State Civil Service Commission in 1997. And I said to myself, having left the uh, tertiary education system in Lagos State Polytechnic then as a lecturer, and I was appointed by Sir Michael Otedola, as a commissioner and civil service commissioner. I spent 5 years. I have, while I was in the civil service commission, I have created a vision for myself that I want to be a private person. I can't go back to public service. And I decided, what will I do for myself? So I decided I want to go into education, full education. Yes. And I started the school with the encouragement of my mom. It was while I started that school, first year I started that school, that a cousin of mine, Alhaji Mufuta Ajishebutu, almost like a politician, very rugged politician in Ikorodu here, came to me and invited me to come and visit. He just said, someone. I said, who is this person? He said, Nadeko person. Who is this Nadeko person? He said, Ahmed Tulumbu. I never knew him. Where would that be? He said that Sunday Adegwin in Ikeja. I was reluctant in the first instance because I have just started my school and I want to, put in all my attention to it. I don't want any distraction. But he almost forced me. He said, oh, come now, man, you have to go. We have to. So we went and we met at Sunday Adegwin. When we got to Sunday Adegwin, the first person we met there was Rauf Aregbesola, who was the coordinator of the campaign program. At that time, Bola Ahmed Tulumbu was doing consultation and moving around to contest for the governorship of Lagos State against Funsho Williams. So we met him. The first time we met him, I introduced myself. I said, my name is KAOLI OLATUNJI OLUSANYA. And it was pleasant. I saw he was probing into who I am, and trying to know more, and encouraged us with the words of the struggle. The words of the struggle. Why the struggle? What do we have to do for Nigeria? And how every individual have to put in their talent, their commitment to improve, just to improve the Nigerian system. And I was motivated by what I heard from him, fighting to improve Nigeria. I said, why? This is good. The next time I will meet him, he called me by my name, KAOLI. And I was moved because most time when I met people and I introduced myself, they never remembered the name KAOLI, because almost 70 plus years now, I've never seen any other person who bears the name KAOLI. I said, wow, if this man could remember my name the first time I met him, he must be a friend. And since then, I've been attached, totally glued to him, learn from him, try to follow what he does. And in the 8 years I was in cabinet with him as a commissioner for agriculture, it was wonderful. It was a period of learning and relearning, a period of learning from a mentor, learning from a pathfinder, learning from somebody who is totally committed to giving his today to create a better tomorrow. And I found out that I have to improve myself in terms of my capacities to deliver. At the time I was recruited I was appointed, I had very little knowledge about computer. But he made it a condition that you want to remain in the cabinet, you have to be computer literate or get out. So when I knew where I was coming from a very poor, humble background, this opportunity at my table, will I want to lose it? Immediately I go back to school, Aptech at Maryland. I will immediately around the evening time, I will leave the office as a commissioner, go back into Aptech as a student, and I was there for 6 months. There I had my diploma, and it was a value added to me. I appreciate that. I mean, you cannot give what you don't have. So you want to improve your capacity, you have to go back to school, you have to continue to learn. And that is the beauty of education. Whoever wants to participate in the public space, in public service, you must come with knowledge. You must come with passion. You must come with resilience. You must come with this ability to give. And to do all that, you must have something. You must have something. You can't come empty-handed. The purpose of getting into public is to serve. You want to give service to the public. Recall that the first time I met him, he was talking about how do we improve the Nigerian system. So if you want to improve, you yourself must be somebody who has the quality, the capacity, the competence, and all that. You must have it. So to do that, and because the whole world is dynamic, things are changing very fast. What you learned yesterday, the degree I had almost 40 years ago, is almost obsolete to find solutions for today's problem, not to talk of tomorrow. So you must want to refresh yourself, to relearn and relearn. So that is education for me. Oh, in the cabinet of Bola Tinubu, I was in cabinet of Bola Tinubu, 1999 to 2007. Wonderful. It was about the most brilliant crop of professionals we put together. Young, energetic, committed. And it's all about leadership. When you see somebody in front of you who is telling you what to do, who is giving the instruction, and when we get into cabinet, you are free to ask any stupid question. You are free to engage in any conversation, any argument. You are never shut down. It is the aggregate of the wisdom of all of us that are put together that manifests in the good performance of what you see in Lagos State. And that is because we have a leader who allows you to make your stupid mistake. It's not a master-servant relationship. It's colleagues. He is the chairman of a cabinet. So we are all free to make our contributions to it. And that is the type of cabinet we have. And I'm not surprised. From 2019, serving for 8 years, 2007, up to today, most of our cabinet members are still relevant in Nigeria. We have produced the Vice President of Nigeria from that same cabinet. Today we have produced this Central Governor, Central Bank of Nigeria. Today we have produced ambassadors, we have produced governors, we have produced ministers from that same cabinet. It cannot be compared to any other cabinet in Nigeria. So you find a leader that is a mentor, a leader that is cropping himself, a leader that is cloning himself for the betterment of Nigeria. You see, I was lucky. Before I was appointed Commissioner for Agriculture, I started my career as agricultural officer in that same ministry in 1997. I finished IFE 1966, served unit service corps at Maiduguri, Borno State. Came back to Lagos 1997. Before we left Maiduguri, the Civil Service Commission of Lagos State came to Maiduguri to conduct employment interview for us. At the same time, federal government, they came to conduct interview for us. And I was offered 2 employments. I was offered by Lagos State, I was offered by federal government. So when I came back, I said, well, I'm a Lagosian, this is my state, I want to continue my state. And I picked up that of Lagos State. So my first employment was with Coopers and Librand, chartered accounting firm, with my BSc Agriculture. I was invited, even though I've had an appointment from federal and state. When I came to Lagos State as a young person, restless, you just want to move around. So I was invited to Bushiri. They just opened the Bushiri building at that time. Kupas and Ibrahim. And I went for interview. Right there and there at the interview, they said I should sit down and start work to be trained as a audit clerk, agriculture audit clerk. But a brother of mine, my brother who's a chartered accountant then of an insurance, African Alliance Insurance Company at Broad Street. I went to him and said, brother, this is my offer, this is what. He said, no, you read agriculture and don't. I thought I would be encouraged being an chartered accountant. But he said, no, go to agriculture. So I closed that chapter of my life and opened the chapter of agriculture. So I was in Ministry of Agriculture for almost between Ministry of Agriculture about 4 years. From 4 years, I went to Lagos State Polytechnic for about 6 years, where I was a lecturer, Lagos State Polytechnic for 6 years. And that is has been my journey at the beginning. So when I now came to be appointed as as commissioner in the Ministry of Agriculture, I was familiar. I know all the projects. I haven't gone around the ministry at the first appointment. We were taken through orientation across the 5 divisions of Lagos. So I knew I was familiar. And most of the officers there were either my senior or people who had left there. So it was not a big deal for me to quickly key into their services, their projects, their policies and programs. So the way I started from was to see what were their projects, ongoing projects. What is there, any change in policies? What is new to learn? So the first thing I discovered, maybe it was a bias, because my first appointment, my first deployment in Ministry of Agriculture was as a agric officer in a farm settlement, right? So when I came in, my first progress was to rehabilitate all the farm settlements in Lagos State. So that was my first thing I did. I took the memo to Ashiwaju and told him the farm settlement was established by Chief Obafemi Awolowo in all the western region. And we had about 3 of that in Lagos State. One in Badagry, one in Ikorodu, and one at Ojo. This must not die. Yeah, so the infrastructures, the housing program, their battery cages, their farming equipment has to be rehabilitated. Most of them were developed. So, and he approved. So that's where I started. And moving from there, I now created additional farm settlements. I did new additional farm settlements. I created somewhere at Odonla, not Odonla, at Odomola. Somewhere at Odomola, we created a farm settlement. At Beribe, Pigri Estate, I created it. Ikorodu, Odogun there, fish farm estate, I created it. From the ground, I created all that. So there were additional farm settlements, 3 that I created while I was there, a commissioner. Then another project I met on ground that was not running according to the design was the Abattoir Ayege. Abattoir Ayege was supposed to be a mechanical slaughter line, not the old traditional slaughtering on messy, dirty, poor, unhygienic environments, right? So when I visited the place, I still saw that they didn't use the mechanical lines at all. They were not in use. They were reverting to the old method of slaughtering on bare floor with little water to clean, unhygienic, very poor, the environment very dirty. So I could not imagine that the meat Lagosians eat come from that place. So I had to run back to Mr. Governor. I told him my observation, what I saw there, and that they need to intervene. In fact, he led the whole executive council to visit Agege. The whole executive council. We visited, and my observation was clear to everybody that we have to intervene. At that time, there was a contractor who was on ground. So we have just to wait that he completes his terms in office. Or else the urge, the impulse was to sack him immediately. That will not be according to law, according to the contract. The Ministry of Justice advised that we should not take any such any steps. So we waited for him, he finished, and thereafter we came back to Lagos State, and we were able to improve to go back to the slaughter line. And during my time, I introduced this motorized eco with van to replace all those who carry on Okada, who carry on head, even though up to today, you still see them. Some of them not totally buying into those type of transportation of meat in Lagos State. You still see people carry it on head, on Okada, on all kinds of most unhygienic way to transport. No, as head of a ministry, you are head of the policy making body. You are a transmitter of the policy of government, programs of government. You have to study that course. No, you are head of administration. It's administrative job. The ministry, all ministries are already staffed by technocrats in all the departments. In agriculture, for instance, they have the veterinary. You have the veterinary personnel there. You have the cooperative. You have cooperative experts there. You have mechanical. You have engineering, agricultural engineering. You have all the all the experts there. And in fisheries, you have all the experts there. In animal production, you have all the experts there. In crop, so only take any technical experience or advice you need, they are there to give you advice. As the head, as a minister, as a commissioner, you only need to be a good administrator, a good leader, to coordinate, to bring policies and programs from ESCO Executive Council to your ministry, explain to them, and to coordinate and move ahead. So you don't necessarily have to be an expert in the ministry you are posted, but you need good understanding, leadership qualities, and be a good listener. Don't come there with arrogance that you know it all. You don't know anything. Don't go there. Don't go to any ministry and think you have the monopoly of knowledge or the arrogance that I am minister, I am commissioner. Without them, you cannot achieve nothing. Okay, what challenges when you grow from your small boy to adult? Challenges in your matrimonial home. There's a lot of challenge in matrimonial home, and that you see, before you can go out there to serve the public, your home front must have really contributed substantially to who you are as a person. Any person, before you go there to say yes, you can want to give back to society, your home front could make you and could mar you, could bring you down and could lift you up. So challenges there too. Now you come to your career, your working career in life. There are challenges everywhere. All you need is to build up capacity to resist any adversaries, to resist distraction. Distraction will call. Some disappointments will call. That you are down today, that is not the end of it. It's telling you have to do it differently and to build you up to gather more stamina, to gather more energy, right? So I want to tell people, it is good sometimes for you to fail. You can't get it right all the time. When you fail, learn your mistakes, learn your pitfalls, learn from those pitfalls, and look at people who have succeeded in that line you are doing. How were they able to make it? You must have people you look up to. You must have role models. Look at role models and pick. Oh, I want to be like this. I want to be like this. Study their life. Study their life and see how you can now Follow your own design, your own goal. Learning from the moral lessons, some lessons you learn from your models, and make your own life and go ahead. But in order to succeed, you must have a clear head. When you are down, don't remain down. Encourage yourself. Nobody will encourage you. Nobody. Nobody will make you happy if you don't make yourself happy. And your happiness is very paramount, very important. Don't because somebody disappointed you today, oh, that is the end of the world. Somebody jilted me, I must die. Who said, why must I die for somebody? That you jilted me, that means go your way, I'll go my way. But some people don't have this emotional stamina. They don't have the emotional strength. Little things, they fall and they remain down. Now begging, looking for help here and there. That's not a solution to life. When you are born crying to the world. Hey. That's to say, wow, this wild world, how will I survive? To survive, you have to build capacity. Learning from my mom, very poor woman, right? And who passion, commitment, praying. Ayinde, please learn your book. Ayinde, please do this. And I told you, my motivation for who I am today is that I will not disappoint my mom. If she has invested all her life in my education, in my praying for me, and she never put one block down, he never built a house, he never built a hut, he never put one building block down. But I am the house he built. And with her sweat, honest, clean health, with sweat he built me. And today, even though she's not built a house, but from the house she built in me, I've been able to multiply that. Because God said, you will be established. He said, go and multiply. So our prayer and what I've been able to learn, the education I've learned has multiplied into what I have today. Right? So in building resources, you cannot build resources without having a clear goal. What do you want for yourself? Your goals will be different from other people. Right? Because my mom invested in education, right from the beginning, I said, look, education is a wonderful thing to have. You want to get out of poverty? Mr. Son of Mr. Nobody. You want to be tomorrow Mr. Somebody yourself. You can only get that through education. And Mandela said that the key to getting out of vicious cycle of poverty is education. I am a testimony of that. I finished my work, fine, good grade. And in those days, I went to Federal School of Science. I finished 1 year. I went to University of Ife. I finished 2-1. I went to University of Ibadan, read economics, masters, finished very well. When I was in a Bola cabinet, I went to Aptech to learn IT. While I was in office, I went to Pan-African University, Lagos Business School, attended the Owners Managers Program. A year later, I went back to the same Lagos Business School for Senior Managers Program. And because I'm in education, I must be a professional person in education. I went to University of Nottingham, UK, to read postgraduate diploma in education. And I came back home, practicing education. I registered as a professional with TRCN, Teachers Education Council of Nigeria. That's the professional body of education. You see, when you continue to learn and learn and learn, right? The goal is not just in acquisition of any material wealth. Oh, no. But when you create value, you get reward for the value you create. As my experience, I started as I would emphasize, very poor person. When I left Lagos State Polytechnic, in this area where you are meeting me today, I established a poultry. Immediately I left the Polytechnic, I said I want to be on my own. The first thing I came to this area was to establish a poultry farm. I was producing eggs and I was also producing turkey during Christmas period. And in between, I produced broiler chicks. It was tough, man. It was tough. It has never been easy any time. What you are going through, what Nigeria is going through now, is not peculiar to this time. It's not peculiar to this generation. When I was also growing up, we have had that in song. We have experienced that in our life, in our life journey. So when I was producing in my poultry here, we have to travel as far as Ota, Obasanjo's farm, to buy inputs, poultry birds, traveling from Godo here to that place. And there are some other area where you buy your inputs. So it was challenging. But what you need is, as a young entrepreneur, someone that is starting off, you must ensure that no matter how small your resources is, do not spend the money that you don't earn. What you don't earn, you cannot spend it. If you engage in that, you go by borrowing, you'll be a beggar. If you made up my mind, I don't want to be a beggar, I'm not going to anybody to beg for anything. You make sure it is what you earn. You, no matter how little, make a little savings and limit yourself to what you earn. But be committed to multiply. Be committed to multiply it through investments here and there. Monitor it. Make sure you block leakages. You don't spend unwisely. The idea of yes, I played like a young person. I was going to club. I was partying. We are doing what young people do. I did it, but to a limit. I knew my goal. Not in excess. Not in excess. As an Ijebu boy, the money, any money that will part my pocket, I know that money will not. If you spend it wisely, that money is gone. So I always ask myself, how do I apply what I have? What I apply, will it multiply back? Do you want to go and just be a fine boy? But no. So if you spend wisely, you multiply what you have, and you have a clear focus. You see yourself gradually doing legitimate business. No Yahoo, no duping anybody, no. Anything that will make you cross the line of honesty to criminality, don't get involved. In all my life, I've never had any case of anybody taking me to court or taking me to police station. Or no. I don't get involved. I want to maintain my clean lane. So with that type of contention in mind, all the time you can save my environment. I wake up, I shout out what I want to do. Every day I write down what I want to do. Today, what do I want to achieve today? You see, if you align what you do a day, what you do a week, what you do a month to your goal, you see what I'm doing today is in alignment with my goal. A week is in alignment. If it is in alignment, if you see anything that is going away from your goal, you better realize, come back to it. You see, when you are in office, the need of society is huge in any field. Agriculture is huge. Let me just itemize some of them. In Lagos State, our population and our agricultural practice in Lagos State, there is need to import food. And Lagos State is the market. As far back then, I've identified the need that Lagos State should create infrastructure to add value addition. Rather than bringing your your plantain, with all the stem, with all the things that are not really part of what will be on the table. It can be packaged somewhere, it can be processed somewhere and presented to markets. We also did see the need to restructure our markets at that time, that the conventional markets is not really supporting the agriculture in a way that will give back the value to farmers. Rather, the cost structure along the line will have added so much weight to what consumers will pay. So farmers don't get the best value for it, and at the same time, consumers don't get the best value for it. Why? Because there are a lot, almost 40-50% of what the farmer harvested does not get to the consumer's table. They are either rotting, they are either spoiled through inappropriate storage facilities or through inappropriate transportation, right? So those are the things that we have identified a long time ago. We also identified the need to make sure that the inputs we use are available and affordable to farmers. For instance, poultry, grains. There's need for grains. Maize. Maize constitutes almost 70% of the poultry feed. But most of the we have to be imported by the feed millers or brought from the northern part of Nigeria. Those are the limitations. Then the medications. Most of them either come from Netherlands at that time. I don't know about now. Then when you go to large farms, there's a need for large pastures. That is a limitation in Lagos State, because you find Lagos, there is a pressure to release this little land space that is allocated to Lagos State to urban development in Lagos State. We lose land for urban development. So the amount of land that was available and still available are shrinking all the time. And anywhere in the whole world, that is it. It happens. You only have to change the system of agricultural practice to make it intensive, and of course to use technology. That is it. So at that time we have identified all this. So if you ask me, what are those things that I think I should have done, I didn't do. With the resources available at that time, things we'll have loved to do is to make loan, credit support. Even though there was at that time this guaranteed credit support by CBN, but in actual, does it really get to the farmers that need them? The real poor farmers, do they really get it? Do they really get it? You see, you just find some big names who call registered names as agriculture. They have access, they have the connection, and they will corner the money from central bank and take the whole chunk away. The whole chunk they take away, they don't invest even in agriculture. At the end of the day, they won't say it's a bad loan. So the poor farmers are not getting it. So that was what I would have loved to see. And the other thing I would love to see is to build processing centers, food processing centers. So as they come into Lagos State, they are processed, they are packaged, and presented to markets. The meat we eat, the cow we eat, we don't want to see the horns. We don't want to see live. It is not the live something we eat. It can be put in a place between Lagos and Ogun State, between Lagos and Ogun State, and you process it, you put in caskets, you package it, and take it to markets. So that the marketing restructuring, the marketing has to be restructured, and people must also try to change their culture in agricultural food presentation marketing, and all that. So that is important. Okay. Okay. In my situation now, or in my as a community leader here, you see almost every family coming to you. Oh, my son, my children is not a graduate, find him a job. My son is a graduate, find me a job. And everybody wants to go to government job. And government job, when you get there, the place is overflowing. The productivity is very low. Why? It's not because they don't have the capacity or they don't have the competence, but when you have 10 people doing the work that 2 people can do optimally, it's overflowing. And it will be nice, it will be good if our people only learn that in addition to whatever thing we learn in the university, skill acquisition is important. And self-employment is the way out. Self-employment is the way out. Not running after government. But how can we promote these young people to be engaged in self-employment? Government has a lot to do. One, in terms of infrastructural developments in an environment where the mode of transportation is very difficult and harrowing, where to move from one place to the other is not conducive, not convenient at all, and very expensive. In a situation where there is no power, when there is no power, in an environment where there is no access to credit, those 3 things are important. You need access to credit, you need to have power, and to have easy mode of transportation, be it on water, on rail, on land. You just buy a ticket somewhere. You are in London, buy a ticket and you can move freely. You don't need to buy your car. But as a young graduate, young people in Nigeria now, the first thing they will be running after is to buy a car. And how much is a car? I don't know what side they will earn that can make them to buy a car. So for young people today, government has a lot to do to be able to create that conducive environment for them to be able to find their feet. Once the government can do that, of course, Nigerians are resilient people. Nigerians all over the world, they will survive. That instinct to survive is in everybody. To succeed is in everybody. But you need some infrastructure to be able to do it. So let the government create that. And I'm sure most of these young people, they will be able to find their, at least, large proportion of their number will be able to start to be productive and add to the GDP of the states. It's unfortunate it is happening. And it is not the fault of the government. It has been the fault of those who have found themselves in position of leadership and who have cornered our resources. They cornered our resources and they even flaunt it. They flaunt it to the anger of the government. And nothing happens to them. There are no consequences. I mean, our Commonwealth, state resources, cornered by somebody, flaunt to our face, as if there is no law, as if there is no consequence. So what do you expect of the younger ones? The younger ones want to do worse. They want to do worse because they felt that's the norm. Anybody can just go there and do away with resources and nothing will happen. And in actual fact, ask yourself, what has happened? What has happened to those who glaringly have made away with our resources? What has happened to them? Nothing has happened to them. So government has to put the political will to enforce our law and to make those who are alleged to prove themselves, to exonerate themselves in the law court or face the consequences. If you don't show, if the people don't take responsibility for their action, we will continue the way we are going. In China, it will never happen in China, no matter who you are. They either decapitate you or even, there's consequences in Ghana. In Malaysia, in big countries there are consequences. We have seen in France, even where former permanent prime minister is sent to jail, right? But what has happened in Nigeria? So we must change this culture of impunity, taking it away from our eyes, planting to us, and getting away with it. Let people sweat genuinely, legitimately for their work. Let me tell you, my daughter is today the commissioner for agriculture. When I was in office, she was always it was almost like my walking stick. We go round and round and round. And when she started work life, was in Ghana, she always tell me, "Daddy, what are you doing in Nigeria? Your cabinet, what are you doing? You are not." She always criticizing me. "You are not doing this. You are not doing that. You are not doing this." I said, "So you are not doing it? Okay." I pray there will be opportunity. That thing that I'm not doing, you come and face it. So when the opportunity came, I was offered. I said, "No, give it to young people. And these young people that say we don't do it, bring them in, let them come and do it. Because they have more of tomorrow than I have. Isn't it? So let them now invest their time and energy into creating the type of Nigeria, into creating the type of tomorrow they want to see." We have done well. We have benefited from the system. We went to public school. We went to when I was going to school in Elisha, I would board the railway train at Ido. It will take me to Oshogbo. Free, jolly ride, pleasant ride. You want to go to school, but today I can't. Even parents are even afraid to allow their children to travel anyhow. Kidnappers everywhere, threats everywhere, insecurity everywhere. At that time, when I was small as a GS1, my mother just took me to Ido and put me in a public bus or train. She never went with me to Elisha. My mother never went because it was not necessary. When we were small, from Isaleko where we were living to Elegbata where I was going primary school, a toddler, we trekked. Nobody was taking us in a vehicle, take my son to nursery school too. Nobody took us. So that's street wisdom. Learning on the road, your peer, doing and listening to your parents, my first teacher, and they be careful. Because all the time there were bad people on the road. There are those who smoke on the road. There are those who mess up on the road. It will always be there. But if you listen to the instruction of your mom, of your teachers, of your parents, and make up your mind, I am going to follow my mom's instruction. It will be well with us.
Thank you very much, sir. What do you have to tell Nigerians? Because things are happening. Many people are not finding it very funny in terms of insecurity, in terms of enjoying the basic.
You see, almost a decade ago, Nigerians, we have been warned, where we just did not pay attention. When Lamido Sanusi was governor of Central Bank, he was crying aloud. He said all the revenue of petroleum was not credited to the. They said shut up. It was removed. Many people like that, when that woman that I don't want to mention her name, who left Nigeria and run away to London, petroleum minister. When you are saying all the money was not remitted, he says, "Shut up. Shut up." These are resources you are taking. There will be consequences for all this. There will be consequences for all this. What could have been reserved, that you should have invested, in road, in infrastructure, in education, in health. It has been taken away, right? Now, in power, it has been taken away. Because we don't have all this, the productivity level of GDP will go down. What are we producing? We don't produce. We now, because if it's easy money, to the extent that we even import toothpick. I mean, anything we import, we are import dependent. So we think there is too much money. And it seems so. Because the rate at which they take trillion and trillion and trillion, and Nigeria is still surviving, I marvel. Say Nigeria must be great. If only we have honest leaders who have the interest of the common people. So today, common people are suffering for the actions and inactions of our leaders yesterday. But what is the way out? The way out is not to engage in any destructive activities. The way out is not in destroying ourselves or destroying the system. What the government of today has to do is to do all it can do to earn the trust of it, because people don't trust government anymore. When they tell us, I will give you this, they say, a lie. Nothing anybody will say is in a lie. And anybody that's connected to government is a public enemy. No matter even if you're an angel, even myself here. It's just because of my communal relationship with people, and people have known me, and they're here in my school. My school is almost like a social service. People here and there, in no state, bring your child to the hostel, don't pay anything. Community scholarship, this scholarship. When I look at my bottom line, I say, how am I sustaining this thing? It's like nothing. So there is a need to give back, to earn the trust of the people. And for government and people that are employed, maybe I don't know how we have to use to preach to them, to their conscience. They must have conscience. You can't be a minister in Nigeria, be a governor in Nigeria, that. You can never be poor again. You don't need anything. You don't need any more than what you have already. Somebody who is governor, who is minister, who is commissioner. I was a commissioner, former commissioner in Lagos State. If the little that you have, you multiply it legitimately and with commitment, without overdoing yourself, you bear comfort. You'll be comfortable, and that's all you need. Allow other people to breathe. So I will plead with our people, with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu I worked with, the person I know him very well. Mark you, when I said the first time I met him. He said, look, let us invest to make Nigeria better. It's going to make this better. But before it becomes better, you don't eat an omelette without breaking the egg. You have to break the egg first. That will be paid. That will pay. Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore, there are times of hardship. Today, that is about the highest GDP per capita income in the whole world. Technology, fantastic. Environment, beautiful. There must be a gestation period. It's not magic. Oh, he came there 1 year, he said he would do this, and he has not done it. Is it just by pronouncing? Is it God? It's only God can say, oh, let there be light, and there will be light. Even Bola Ahmed Tinubu cannot say, let there be. There is darkness everywhere. There is no electricity. Can he just command, let there be light? Before they bring in investors, before they negotiate the investment, before it land, before financial engineering, before they find the money, before they start construction, it will take time. My plea is, let us trust in this man. Let us trust him. But Nigerians, let us open our eyes, engage in constructive criticisms. Yes, it's Bola Ahmed Tinubu I trust, but how about those people that he surrounded himself with, the ministers? Are they of the same mind with him? All those he appointed. We have just not less than a few months. We have seen differences. We have seen people. We have seen people put in place the money meant for small people, 20,000 to people, to poor people. Somebody amassed it and thought he would put it in his own private account. Is that how to Is that how to promote the vision of this government? I mean, on the whole, I'll still plead with Nigerians to give him some time. It will be good.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Because the former commissioner and the presently the vice chairman of
Eastern Electoral District, former chairman, former vice chairman, Lagos Eastern Electoral District APC. Yeah. That's my ideology. That's my philosophy of education. My philosophy in education to make education available and affordable. I'm come from a poor person. If my mom did not invest in me, I would not have this. And there are children of the poor. There are children of the poor in this environment. That's why I stayed in this. At the time I built this school. I have access to stay in Lekki, agricultural land. I mean, commissioner of agriculture. All the land everywhere. I could have stayed in Lekki, in Ajah, take my and stay there. But I said no. I saw here there's poverty here, and this is my own community. I want to give back to my own community. What can I give back to my community is education, not money. I can't distribute money. No. That money I have, if I sow it well, if it multiplies, you will come to it and drink your own. You take your own from it. But if I give that money, it's not multiplied. The people you give it to, they only consume it. They even waste it. I want to come back for more. In any party, there are always caucuses, interest groups. The purpose of interest groups is to mobilize into that same party.
So talking about the mandate group.
The mandate group, yes. I belong to the mandate group. In APC, there are two. The two are brainchild of present president. The Justice Forum, he was part of those that initiated it. The mandate group was his own direct brainchild. And what do we do there? We use it to mobilize support, to engage with party folks. Only very few people are executive officers of the party. Only very few. Large number. Millions are not. So how do we engage such people? We engage them through their caucuses, holding meetings, engaging with them, connecting with them, giving them information. The mandate group I belong to, in recent time and over time, it has been like competition with Justice Forum. But when we saw that the fortunes of our party at general election has been declining from 2000 and about 2007 plus 5, 2015, when BRF had 2011, BRF won Lagos State election with 1.5 million votes. Thereafter, the number of votes our governor has won has been declining. The electoral fortune of our party has been declining. And when we find out why is this happening, one, there is empathy among members of the party. There is, of course, distrust among electorates. And of course, there is internal conflicts within groups, interest groups, and caucuses. And fourth is imposition of candidates that are not generally acceptable. So look at all this. What is the solution? Having gone through the party structure and party administration, the purpose is to now to work in collaboration, in partnership. Let us understand ourselves. Yes, the left hand, the Justice Forum, the right hand, there is a mandate group, where they can come together. One hand cannot clap. One hand cannot clean itself. Both, when we come together, we synergize together, we collaborate together, we'll be able to have an improvement in our electoral fortune. And that is what I'm preaching. I'm a man of peace. I'm a man of reconciliation. I am for, it's not as if your own fortune or whatever you appointment you have is a take away from my own. It's not. Your own success does not reduce my own chances of success. So my own mentality and mindset is win, I win. Win-win situation. Not win, you lose. So when you engage in competition is I win and you lose. But when you collaborate, you partner together, you synergize together, you can win, I can win. You will achieve your aim, I will achieve my own. So together we'll be able to move forward. That has been what I'm preaching. My message is one, those who will be contesting. Yes, you participate. Those who will participate, number one, before you come out contest, make sure you have a job. Don't be a jobless person. You must have a job. You must have something you can fall on back to. Don't become desperate. That if you don't win, you not something the whole world will fall. It's a lie. It will not fall. Number two, if you are not ready to lose, that because there's no guarantee it will be yours. If you're not ready to be a loser, then don't come in to say to come and contest. And if you whichever way it came, don't think somebody is your enemy and that person your enemy. If you go to a leader and tell him, okay, sir, I want to be the chairman, you're not the only person that will come. There is only one share as the council chairman, and 10 people are coming to me, I want to be chairman. I will not tell anybody not to contest. I won't tell you not to contest. I will only advise you. Go around, do your consultation. Then evaluate yourself properly. Are you ready for it? Number three, don't spend any money you cannot part away with you. The money you cannot just give for free. Don't spend it because you're not sure how it will come out. Right? So if you assess all that and you participate, and there's a level playing field for primary election. If you're not going to primary, and people now say, oh, this is number A, is the person they choose, just accept it. Just accept it. That's popular choice. One person must be chosen. Those that others that don't vote for you, it's not because they are your enemy. It's not because they don't like you. It's only because they just have what they want. They have to make a choice. After all, if they have chosen you, others will have been rejected too. So it goes one way or the other, and whichever way, all this has happened to me. I have contested the election almost 6 times. Those 6 times I've never won one. I've contested election 6 times. I started as a councillor. I lost. I contested as chairman of council in Korea. I contested. Under NRC, I was the NRC candidate. I lost. I tried to contest as a House of Assembly. I was asked to step down, and I did. I stepped down, and we still went. I didn't undermine my party. I came out to contest for House of Rep. But when I saw the circumstances and the people that were, I withdrew myself. Right. When I was in cabinet, I consulted with the current president of Nigeria. Right. When I was a cabinet member, I approached my script, sir, I want to be governor of Lagos State. He said, go ahead. I gathered my people together, and we went out campaigning. And when I saw the handwriting on the wall that it was going the other way, that it was Babatunde Raji Fashola that was the choice, I gave it up immediately. When I gave it up, my caucus was saying, no, we'll fight. I said, fight who? Fight with Bola Ahmed Tinubu, no, count me out. I go along with BRF. Then about when Pepe Oshinowo, when he died, I was invited to come and contest for the Senate. I started. But along the line, I saw the handwriting again that no, it was going the other way. And I withdrew. And I supported the candidate. What is important is your service. Is the service. You can serve through any level. It's not necessarily through your elected office. So I've never been elected once in all my political career, but I have been having one appointment, and I've been able to serve and serve well. Anybody who have served for 2 terms, 3 terms, 4, is enough. Find something else to do. You see, the idea, oh, in America, they forget them in the Senate. That is American system. That's America. This is not here. America is matured, is saturated, the opportunities are there. You don't necessarily have to be in government to survive. But in Nigeria, no electricity, no power, no credit, no house, no transportation, and you want people to survive. So that's why they can kill because of they want to get to government.